Hey y'all, yes, Harlem. Thank God it's Friday. Hey Harlem, hey Alberta, hey Montana, hey everybody. Thank you guys for being here. I said we wasn't going live tonight, but I had to come live because I wanted to talk to y'all about it. I didn't want to simmer on it. I didn't want to sit on it. I wanted to talk to y'all about it. And we won't be long as we was last night. We did a 2 hour live last night. So we won't be that long, but I just wanted to talk about it. I wanted to get y'all's opinion on what you guys think is going on at this point, how today went with the closing summary from the defense. How do you guys think the prosecution's demeanor was, the judge? Like, what are y'all thinking? Because I believe that Monday, excuse me, this is Friday, that Monday could possibly be the day. Before we jump in, though, if you will, hit the like. If you have not already, hit subscribe. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, you are welcome here. Good vibes only over here because it's lit. And then also, if you want to become a member, we would welcome you as a member to join our exclusive rooms. So thank y'all for being here, and we're going to get started in about 30 seconds. We'll get started. I'm going to grab some water, not coffee. Auntie don't need no coffee right now. I'm going to get water, and I'll be right back. Just a moment. Okay, I'm back. I'm back right quick. All right. As I said, we won't be so long tonight because I do have a lot still to do. I got to prepare for tomorrow. So anyway, I wanted to talk about, like, do I need this to be that light? Okay. I wanted to talk about today. So I want to know what you guys in the comments. I'm gonna try something. In the comments, I know it's just us here right now, so that's fine. Drop a 1 if you think the defense turned up and did their job, or a 2 if you think the defense flopped and disappointed Diddy for the closing arguments. What are you guys thinking? Like, I know what I'm thinking, and I don't know. I don't think I'm the only one thinking what I'm thinking, and I'm going to share. But if you listened, if you know, we did. It was good last night. Drop a 1 or 2 if you think the 1 is if you think the defense did their thing and it's a slam dunk. A 2 if you think they dropped the ball and disappointed Diddy today and his fate. Thank you guys for being here. I see we have a whole 7 people in here, and we have 7 likes. I mean, everybody is on it. So Harlem said 2, they dropped the ball. Montana said 1 because he thinks it was a slam dunk. And I think this makes for a great conversation. But I'm not surprised at Alberta said 2. She thinks that they dropped the ball. The defense did not do their job for Diddy and his fate today. If I had to drop 1, which I'll drop mine in the chat as well. This is just what I think. So let's talk about it. And So the defense came in and we were ready for them to really respond in a way that would sit the prosecution down, right? We know yesterday that the prosecution came out and the prosecution ate their lunch. They did what they came to do. They showed up. They presented to the jury clearly what the charges are, why they should be charging him guilty, why he's guilty of these things. They laid it all out. They had a PowerPoint and said this goes here, and this is why it should go here. The defense comes back today and says that this was a love relationship, however they put it, right? That this wasn't really about he said it was that this trial here is not about domestic violence, which we know that. And that Cassie went on IG and she said it's all about domestic violence, whatever, whoop, but they never really presented in a way that would convince me as a juror that. Oh, thank you so much for the super chat, corporate luxury. I appreciate you so much. It means everything. Thank you for being here. The defense did not convince me, if I was a juror, that I should find him not guilty. They were just kind of just like really just highlighting kind of what the trial was about and kind of trying to shut down the prosecution, and so much to the point he was messing all up, because then the judge comes in and the judge at the end, prosecution said objection. We have all agreed, defense and prosecution, that these three things should not even be mentioned. We agreed that we weren't going to mention it, and here Agnifilo comes and he mentions these things. So we need to let the jury know that they made some improper moves here today and to disregard what he said. And then the lady lawyer over there, I forget her name, she comes and she says, well, Your Honor, we thought about some things yesterday that we could have objected, but we didn't object. Judge was like, well, I'm sorry for you, because yesterday, if you felt you needed to object something, you could have made an objection. We could have addressed it yesterday. Here, after his presentation, the prosecution has objected and we're addressing it. And he said, and rightfully so, because we agreed that we wouldn't talk to this, and he still presented this to the jury. So what I'm going to tell the jury as the judge is that what he presented was improper, and to unhear it, like you can unhear it, right? To unhear it. Then the lawyer comes back and says, why would you tell the jury that he did something improper? Because they're going to believe that he did something improperly. He's like, because it was improper. He should not have done it because we agreed. So I think at every angle, this defense failed Puff, failed him bad. Now, what was going on in the courtroom? I'm getting from sources inside the courtroom that there was a lady that started choking, right? And Diddy's looking around trying to find who's choking. He gets up, gets a bottle of water, and gives the water to the lady. Not ask his lawyer to do it, not ask somebody to, hey, hand her some water, she's choking. He does it. Where on this earth, in these United States, have you seen a defendant? He's already stood up and just had himself a drink of water in front of the whole room. He's been nodding at the jurors and got in trouble for that. Now he done got up and gave this lady a bottle of water. Where do we do this at? Just FYI. They said his demeanor as they were speaking today, his demeanor was like he was kind of slumped over. He was kind of had this worried look, right? That he was not really pleased with what was going on, or he was really nervous about what's going on. Now, to his defense, he should be nervous. He should be nervous and worried about what is going to take place when the verdict is read. This is his life. So he should be worried, and he should be worried, in my opinion. And I would love to hear from Montana why he put a one in the chat, because we ask at the top, put a one in the chat if you think the defense did their thing. Put a two in the chat if you think the defense failed Diddy. He put a one. And I would love to understand and have the conversation. Why do you think the defense knocked it out the park? Because I really don't believe that they did. I told you, I'm dead in the middle. I'm dead in the middle. And if they knocked it out the park, we would be saying that, I would be saying that he knocked it out the park. For me, he didn't do that. The link is in the chat. You guys, if you don't know, during this trial, we are dropping the link. If you want to come up and have the conversation, we can do that. I wanted to read a little bit, a very little bit of what the defense said today. It's just a little bit. There was one time that he said, and during that, and I think we talked about it earlier, is that he said, this is not about domestic violence. If it was, then he would have pled guilty. Puff would have pled guilty. He said, so I need you to believe, hey, to Cash D. I think I said that right. To Cashed. Hey, thank you for being here. So listen, he said, believe, I need you guys to believe what Cassie has said when she tells you that this is about domestic violence. But you cannot believe that she was ex-trafficked. You cannot believe that she was coerced in any way. You cannot believe any of these things, when in fact, he coerced, he hung these videos that he recorded of them having freak offs and held that over her head, that if you don't do this, then I'm going to do this. And this will hurt your this will hurt your brand. This will hurt your character, whatever. So if you don't do this freak off tonight, then I'm going to show the videos. If your parents don't send me $20,000 tonight, I'm going to show those videos. And he knew how dead set against him showing those videos that Cassie felt. He held over Jane's head that if she don't come and do those freak offs and give him what he want, like, I'm on my job, I need you to be on your job. And if you don't you forget that I pay your rent. So it was those things. So I need to understand, Montana. Oh, he's up. I need to understand why you believe that the defense was a slam dunk today.
Just like I said, because the defense already know what the results are going to be. They ain't slow. They already proved their case. It wasn't nothing much to say in the closing arguments because they proved their case. Just like you said with Cassie, with him threatening her, she shouldn't have cared at all because at the end of the way, you had enough money to pay your own rent. So who cares if you don't have to pay my rent no more?
But that was Jane.
I mean, well, yeah, with Jane, who cares if you don't pay my rent no more? I can pay my own rent. You have mothers that work every day struggling, pay their own rent without a man. Why I
You
need you?
do, but you do. But in this instance, is how I'm seeing it. The whole deal was this love contract, right? So
Uh-huh.
they signed this love contract. But at any point when she says, no, I don't want to do this anymore, it should be no, it shouldn't be. If you don't, then I'm not going to pay your rent, when she's already settled into the fact that he's going to be paying this rent because she got a child. So if I don't go do a freak off, if I tell you no, you're going to pull the rent. Why is that right?
I mean, but then, like I said, I feel like the defense, they did what they supposed to do. It wasn't nothing else much to say. What's the purpose of going hard in the closing arguments? I already proved my case. These people that testified on my client, they was in cohorts with the bull crap. So how is that credible? How can you have somebody come up here and testify about what I did, but you took my $20 million I gave you to shut up, to keep it under wraps? So how can you be credible?
I can see that. I
Y'all
can
was
see
taking
that.
my money. Y'all was with all the bull crap I was with. Y'all was taking my money. Y'all was with all the crimes I was committing. So how can y'all be credible? Okay, reason why y'all on the stand is because y'all was promised something.
Back to that, yeah.
It ain't nothing else much to say.
Yeah, like Montana, if I'm being honest, you make some good points. You really do. You make some good points, and that you almost can't argue that, because if you look at it from your standpoint, they were willing.
Yeah.
They even now. I mean, I'm in the middle, so I'll be honest. They even made you think in text messages and in phone calls that, hey, I'm horny and I want to do a FO. So can we do it? So they would Jane for sure would even prompt those. Cassie would prompt those. But what they were doing it is because in order for me to get his time, because I'm in love with him. I want to be with him. I want to spend time with him. So the only way I'm going to get to do that is if I cooperate and do what he wants me to do. And even if I don't do that, then I have consequences from him, because he's saying if I don't, this is what's going to do. And what he's threatening me with really does me a disservice in my livelihood, because I have a whole child here. And if he don't pay the rent, I'm not prepared to pay the $10,000 rent right now.
But at the same time, all those sex workers, that was their job. They was prostitutes. They was 304s. They were swingers. So how can you charge me for something that's what they do on a living basis? You got
So
more.
I'm
You got
sorry.
most of them. You got most of them selling their content on OnlyFans and all that other stuff. So how this is what they do?
Let me see what she said. She said, but in that scenario, when she be coercion when she be coercion him, that's the point to be made. And I believe his lawyer made it also. So high steel views, STL views, is that right? Thank you for being here tonight. I have a question for you then. So when we at the top of the live, I asked if you felt that the defense did Diddy well today, and they had a slam dunk with their closing arguments. Put a 1 in the chat. If you think the defense failed him, put a 2. Do you think that they did him good today? Like with the closing arguments, they came and they did what they needed to do to prove to the jury their point where they needed to, and then and all is well? Or do you think they could have came a little harder? Or do you think they failed him? Like, what are your thoughts?
Throughout that whole trial, Diddy was the most Diddy was the most credible out the whole trial because at the end of the day, he never told on himself throughout the trial with all the other people testimonies, and the wrong that he did do, he admitted to it. To I think the criminal domestic violence
He's
or
not
something like that.
admitting to it. No, Montana.
Okay, well, he was the most credible person there.
No, I don't agree in that. I think that Cassie was credible. I think that she was credible. Why don't you think she's credible? Because she did agree to the freak offs at first. And then when she started getting her butt whooped, she got tired of the a whoopings, and she got fed up with having to be in freak offs every time when she was supposed to really be there as an employee making albums that never was
because
released.
because you broke an agreement. If I paid you $20 million to do this or do that, to keep it on the down low or whatever I paid you for, that was your obligation to do that because you reached an agreement. That was a contract. So when you came and testified on me or whatever you did, you broke that agreement. So how can you be credible?
Right. And did you mention that he came and apologized for what he did and he admitted to what he did?
Yeah, I think something about with the criminal domestic something.
Yeah, he made that fake apology because they even said they sit around at the table and said, okay, we need to put this apology out. How do you put apology out? You don't have to sit when you genuinely are given an apology. You don't have to sit and come bring your family around the table and say, what should I say? If
That
you're
just
genuine. And
but that,
and and I love this. I love this right here. You cannot be credible if you don't get on the stand. How can you be credible if you don't get on the stand?
because at the end of
What
the
makes
day,
him credible? Because he didn't say nothing.
he didn't say nothing. So it's basically his word against theirs. Everything is his word against theirs.
I'm thinking here. STL View says, yeah, I think coercion and manipulation are one and the same. And it's clear that Jane Doe was manipulating the situation so she can benefit from him. And I'm going to tell you this, Views. I'm not totally against that. Hey, Beauty, it's me. Hey, everybody. I am not against what you're saying here because there was a lot of times that it looked that she was doing that. Okay. It looked the part. But I'm saying at the end of the day, when I say I'm done and no, I don't want to do it, then he has a whole problem with it, kicking doors in, beating people to wake them up, like knocking people in their head. Like, why is that right? And I know this is not a domestic violence, but it's like you're gonna get up, I'm gonna beat your A, and then you're gonna go in there and put some lingerie and heels on because we're having a freak off tonight in your house. Why is
I
that
just,
right?
I mean, I just don't get it. That just like hypothetically speaking. Say if I paid you $20 million to keep this quiet, right? And that just like you going back and press charges on me.
Say that again. Let me hear that again, Montana.
That just like me paying you $20 million to be quiet and keep it on the wraps. We done made an agreement that you will keep on the wraps if I paid you this money, and then after I pay you this money, years down the line, you come back and press charges on me. That's basically the same thing.
Ugh.
So how
I
can you be credible? You took my money.
but you kept on just like he said, Ninja, please. I like that. So just like he said he apologized 2 days after he did the act. The public apology was for the public. They continued to have the FOs after the fight, and that is true because that was presented to be true because in the room when they got him and took him to jail, Jane was on her way to have those FOs. So I see what you're saying, Montana. I do. I can get there. Okay. I can get there. But I still say no is no. I still say
So
if
after she
you
was paid, she was still messing with him.
after Jane, oh no,
No,
Cassie didn't. Well, so wait, so not after she was paid, but once she left with Alex, she did text him and tell him she missed him. Cassie did.
okay. So now that
So they
shows
was
you.
still she was still trying to connect with him. So that's after the fact that he jumped
After
on her.
all right, so say for instance after the fact, so say for instance if that was done to you and somebody paid you $20 million to go on about your business or whatever, you go text back years later, I miss you and all this other stuff. No, you go on with your life and spend your money.
Yeah.
So how can you be credible? You can't you
Well, there was something about her being in love with him and how he could manipulate her and how he would have her brainwashed. I think, but I think for Cassie was in love with Diddy. She stuck in there for 11 years, whether she was getting her butt whooped, whether they was having freak offs, whatever. She did love him. I think she was in love, and I think she still cares about him to this day. Hold on before you go there, Montana. You guys, thank y'all so much for being here. Go ahead and hit the like. The link is in the chat for the remaining of the trial. We're dropping the link for anyone to come up and have a conversation about this because we love different opinions. We can all agree to disagree respectfully. So if you want to come up, just hit the link. We can bring you up because we want to hear from y'all as well. Go ahead, Montana.
I was talking about luxury said you cannot legally sign a contract to hide criminal activity. Well, if somebody raped somebody and it was paid off to keep it on the low and they accepted that money, that is hiding criminal activity. It happens all the time. People get paid off to hide criminal activity. Somebody
You're
was
right.
just paid off just 2 seconds ago for a criminal activity somewhere in this world.
20 million is civil. These are criminal charges. Oh, wait, she slept with him after that, after she was married to Alex? I thought she only reached out to him. after she was with him? I missed that, or either I just forgot that if that happened. The
Corporate.
R word is a crime. She can still discuss it.
No, she cannot, corporate, because at the end of the day, nine times out of ten, the type of person he Diddy was, or the powerful person he was. If I'm paying you money, you signing an NDA. That means you can't disclose none of that information with nobody. Quite sure you signing an NDA when you accept if you accepted that money, or she did.
You see what corporate luxury said? I agree with that. He said nothing.
You know,
Why
and
didn't
then
he get on the stand? If he's totally innocent, just like Suge said, if you're totally innocent and you know that you know that you know, why didn't call no witnesses? Why didn't you get on the stand?
reason why I don't care what trial you go to, a murder trial, your lawyer always gonna tell you do not take
Yeah,
the stand because the prosecutor gonna eat you up.
yeah.
Let me do
And
that.
and everything you say can be held against you.
Yeah, so that's why lawyers don't let their clients take the stand in trials. Don't let their clients take the stand in trials. My bad. But 9 out of 10
Oh.
ain't when they be making those when they be making those civil when they be paying out, they be making them sign NDAs and all that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you cannot discuss that. If that's the case, he could go back and sue her for his money back because she disclosed that information because she signed the NDA. If you want to be technical,
It's messed up. It's messed up. Let me read
that's
just a little bit of what the defense said today. Um, so he says there is no evidence that anyone is a co-conspirator. The firearms are not charged. Homeland Security cannot say where the guns were. The Suge Knight story is not charged. Don Richard, remember her? Miss Westmoreland did the cross, not charged. Combs, yesterday the government said in the videos you don't see guns, but he probably shouldn't keep videos with guns in, if that's fair. That's a little sinister, wouldn't you think? And it was Cassie who was to be urinated on. Oh gosh, where did that come from? He said Jane knows there's an investigation. Did she instigate this? Her story makes no sense. Why was she persistently violent? She says, I don't want to do it, but she let Anton in. I submit they were trying to get past it. Oral X only. At the end of the day, her story has so many holes in it. Talking about Jane, you could say she prompted it. She maybe wants something in her pocket. I'm going to have something. Maybe I'll never use it. Why the provoked extreme violence? She doesn't explain it. I assume in every adult movie, the actors get paid to have X, and it's legal. So he thinks it is legal. Okay, let's talk racketeering. Here's page 14 of the charge. The enterprise, the group must have an organization. Y'all hear this? This is what he said. Y'all hear this? Only Sean Combs is charged here. No one testified. I was part of a racketeering enterprise. This is the greatest divide between the evidence in this trial and what the prosecutors are saying. There is a lack of evidence. They didn't charge racketeering. They charge racketeering conspiracy. They need a co-conspirator and they just don't have one. They claim KK. The evidence at this trial shows KK is a helpful person. KK, oh Lord. Carrie Morgan called KK and D-Rock. They are not co-conspirators. If John Gotti were kicking in your door, would you call Sammy the Bull Gravano, whatever that is? No, he is a co-conspirator. There is only one trial. KK is not a conspirator. Matter of fact, KK is a very nice person. There is no evidence that anyone is a co-conspirator. At some point you can ask, can I trust the prosecutors? Can I trust the prosecutors? It takes a lot of courage to acquit. I think that the evidence shows, as you can conclude, that the government targeted Sean Combs. I wouldn't say that if Cassie went to Homeland Security. So he's basically saying Cassie should have went to Homeland Security. America is great because between each citizen and the government, there is a jury. This is your house. I'm asking the comment to summon that courage, to have the courage to do the right thing and acquit Sean Combs on all counts. He is innocent. Let him go home to his family. Thank you. That was kind of it.
I want to
So
learn
they're
something from
asking.
corporate because corporate say he's a lawyer. I want to know this. You said that he's not credible because he never take the stand. How can't he be credible just because he took the stand? Because at the end of the day, just because he in that trial, he's still innocent until that jury say he's guilty. So he's still credible.
So do you also think that KK is not a co-conspirator and D-Rock is not a co-conspirator for the things that they were doing? So you think Sean is totally innocent?
I no, I don't say that. I don't agree with a lot of things that he's done, but I'm going by what's going on with the trial, with the people, with the witnesses. I'm talking about that. I ain't saying I don't agree with a lot of stuff that he have that they claiming that he did allegedly. Like I don't agree with the beating on the women or none of that stuff. All his stuff he was doing, I don't agree with none of that.
So Ninja, so are you saying that you think that he's innocent?
I mean, well, with the case, how everything is coming out, like how like the people that testify, I believe not. Like to me, I don't believe that he's all the way innocent. You know what I'm saying? Because you was with this. You know what you did.
Yeah,
That's between you and God at this
yeah,
point. But at the
yeah,
same time, just how everything going, I think it's gonna be a mistrial. It's gonna be that one juror say, "I ain't letting that black man go down." There's too many of us going down. It's gonna be that one juror that's gonna do that.
yeah. I think I can get there too. I think everything became so blurry, so confusing, so back and forth that that's a high possibility that it could be. But then again, I mean, we just don't know. We just don't know. We just don't know. But what I do think is, like I said last night, I do think that um, the jury has their mind made up already.
You got one juror that might be thinking in his mind, say, "Hey, I ain't gonna let that man do. I'm gonna say not guilty. Maybe god dang on 3 months down the line, he may hit me up and send me $1 million." You got people that thinks like that.
Yeah. He did commit assault and battery, but unfortunately, that's not part of the crimes. And just like his lawyer said, if this was a domestic violence, if this was about domestic violence, he would have pled guilty because we take that, we eat that, we know that happened, and he's apologized for that. But this is not what this is about. So, unfortunately, we do feel sorry for them, but this is not about the assault. He said it's not even about Sean selling or about the drug use or whatever, because Brendan got on the stand and said it's personal use. This is all for personal use. So I don't know. It's either it could go either way. It could go either way. Um, there could very well be a mistrial. But again, the judge is not going to let them come Monday and say we can't get on the same page. He's going to say go back and try to deliberate some more. Go back, deliberate some more until you all can come to a conclusion. And then after so long, if they can't, then it becomes a mistrial. And then they just go ahead and just try it all over again. Yes, I believe he is innocent. Okay, that's what we got up here. He committed assault and battery. I'm saying it's no physical evidence to prove that he is guilty. So when that case, that will make him innocent. Got it. Understand that. That is true. He is innocent until proven guilty. I agree with that. Yes, I believe he's innocent. I
And,
agree.
and another thing, right? We don't know. how much he paid those attorneys, but we know they wasn't cheap. We at least know they was paid over $100,000.
Yep.
So we're over $100,000 attorneys, and with that, it was a reason why their closing argument was like that. They know what they doing. It was
They
a
better
reason why they
know.
closed. It was a reason why their closing argument was like that, and it will shock you by Tuesday.
With all the law degrees involved in this case, judge, defense attorney, and prosecutors, it's crazy how it's in the hands of the citizen. Yes, with comments. That's what I'm saying. Like, we allowing these people, this man's life, to be in their hands. People that are falling asleep on the stand, people that are gazing, people that are so checked out because they ready to go. His fate is in their hands. Why
You
can't
know,
we? Why can't the judge just do it?
you got those prosecutors. They scared right now. They were scared the whole trial. They were scared.
You think?
Yeah, listen. If he'd have had a Rudy Poop attorney, then yeah, they would have been all with it. They would, you know what I'm saying? When you got attorneys that's high caliber that you pay that type of money for, prosecutors, the prosecutors scared because they know that they got to be on their P's and Q's because one slip up, they could get ate alive and could cost them their job. You think it'll cost them their job if they lose that trial? There's certain trials.
At the end of the day, though, you can't make a jury sway one way or the other, though. Are you saying the prosecution will lose their job?
No, I'm just saying like certain trials, they
Oh.
they they can, they
Mm-hmm.
will.
Mm-hmm.
Like ain't no, they boss looking at them like the attorney general office like, hey, ain't no way this man walked. This man supposed to
Well,
got a life sentence and he walked right out the door. You blew the whole trial off of
yeah,
one simple mistake. That's why prosecutors got to be on point. 'Cause one simple mistake, it could blow the whole trial.
I agree with Harlem. I don't think they're scared. Like, I think they're really confident, especially after their closing arguments yesterday. They became real confident, even more so.
Let
Because
me tell you,
today,
like when you got prosecutors, right? You got most prosecutors, they when they go to trial or handle court cases, they go against more pro bono or public defender type lawyers more than they go for $100,000 or $1 million lawyers because everybody can't afford those type of lawyers that they prosecute. That's why I say that. The average person that get charged, they either got a pro bono that's paid by the state or the government, or they got a public defender.
mm-hmm,
So when you got a high caliber lawyer like that, that prosecutor know that he has to be on point, it has to be on his P's and Q's. Because not
yeah.
only that lawyer know what he doing, but those type of lawyers got power too.
Any truth you may tell go out the window with one line, especially under oath. That's a fact.
Yeah, exactly. And then as soon as you blow that whole trial, the whole attorney general office looking at you, hey, you out of here, man. You out of here. You know how much money you done cost the state for this trial and you just blew it? And you let this criminal walk?
It's a dirty game. So anyway, I believe we'll find out in a couple of days, what's going to happen when we hear the chatter from other platforms, news reporters, whatever. It seems to be like 50-50. Some people say Diddy's done, and some people say, I believe he's going to walk or it's going to be a mistrial. And again, it just remains to be seen. We all have our opinions, but at the end of the day, our opinions really don't matter. What matters is what that jury comes back to say. And so we'll see what they have to say.
And you remember with the Young Thug trial, that prosecutor that he had, that black lady?
Uh, so who? What did it again, Montana?
I mean, you remember with the YSL trial with
Oh,
Young Thug and that black prosecutor, that black lady, and what that
yeah,
judge did, stop the court and say, you doing a terrible job. You've been doing this for so many years to come with this filthy mess that you coming up here with. That's embarrassing to that district attorney's office. That's embarrassing when a judge say that to you.
yeah. I liked what he was saying. You know, it is, people do get a little nervous when you have all women like that because they say women are more emotional. If anything like that has ever happened to them before, they judge it on that, you know, and how can they really give you a good case or really represent you well when their emotions are tied in it. So, I mean, you know, I can see that as well. I can see that
Hey,
happening.
and I agree with that. I like don't get me wrong with that closing arguments. I think the lady should have did the closing argument because one thing about a woman, when they're serious about their job and been paid well about their job, and when they start explaining the way the women explain it, it make you want to cry in the jury. Like, dang, should I say
Mm,
not guilty?
yeah.
Versus how a man thinks.
Yeah. Yep. Fannie Willis. Yep.
And then since these crimes was committed with women, I believe that woman should have said it to speak out. The attorney for the closing arguments.
Uh-huh.
That would have made more sense to the jury. That would have been my technique. That would have been my technique. Let the woman do the closing arguments since the crimes was committed against women.
Mm-hmm. Man.
That would have been my technique if I was the defense attorney.
I really thought, I didn't think Agnifilio was going to be the one to do the closing arguments today. And I don't really think the defense did really good today. I mean, the defense, I don't think they did really good today.
But
I do
watch, I
think
tell
the
you, it was a
prosecution did
reason why.
amazing.
It was a reason why.
Well, just like it's a reason why they didn't bring any witnesses. Whatever that method to their madness is, I guess they know what they're doing.
Talking about they didn't burn no witnesses today.
Oh no, period.
Oh, cause no witnesses, no witnesses. You can't after you testify. That's it. No witnesses don't. No witness. A witness don't have to be there doing closing arguments because after they
No, no,
testify, their
no,
job
not
is
during
done.
closing arguments. I'm talking
Oh,
about whenever the prosecution rested and it was
yeah.
time for the defense to come on. Like the prosecution had all their witnesses. Now they rested. Now it's on the defense. Defense said
Yeah.
we ain't calling no witnesses in a just a little short time. They rested. They didn't call any witnesses.
Because it wasn't
They
necessary.
kind of did a summary and they rested their case. And now they go into closing arguments.
That was all needs to say it because it wasn't necessary.
Obviously, yeah, obviously. So you guys, thank y'all. I mean, I appreciate y'all being here, everybody being in and joining in the conversation. I love seeing other people's opinions. Thank you for being here. Thank you for hitting the like. We will start having exclusive rooms, especially there are so many other cases that we're going to be covering. As you guys see them unfold, we will be covering them as well. We'll have exclusive rooms, exclusive guests. So become a member, hit subscribe if you have not already, and thank you for hitting that like button. So anyway, I'm really anxious for Monday to see what's going to take place Monday. I think they got their instructions. Harlem, you want to come up? Did they get their instructions today, or is he handing them to them Monday? I think it's today.
I think they're gonna want it over for the Fourth of July holidays to give
That's what
everybody
they.
a
I
break.
think the jurors wanted over too. Everybody wanted to be over. Thank you, corporate luxury. Thank you so much. Yeah, I love these conversations because I love the fact that we can come here and we can like agree to disagree. Everybody can say their piece, what they think, because all it is a conversation. Because and nothing what we say gonna matter. It's what the jury's gonna say. But I mean, you got some good points, Montana. I promise you, making some really valid points. But I still would say the defense sucked today. And I believe the prosecution ate. They killed it yesterday. Your Honor, Diddler is done. Now, Sorry, I got this candy on my desk and I need to stop eating it. Anyway, really, we weren't supposed to go live tonight because of my event tomorrow, but I just wanted to come and see what everybody else was thinking. You know, what you guys' opinion were, um, your opinions were, and see, especially you, Montana. I wanted to see what you thought because I figured as much that you would be the one that was going against what we were saying, that your opinion was going to be very different about it. And I can appreciate those comments, and because again, you make valid you make valid points. um Puffy's lawyer ain't for us to understand. We not from New York. He was talking to New York and the New York only. Okay. Yeah, because ooh, that was sour. Sorry. I do think that, let me see what she said. Well, that's what I was thinking. Because you can't sit if you're well, I don't know about a co-conspirator, but I believe that he's a co-conspirator. I believe that once if Diddy's found guilty, we've said this over and over. KK is going to be a co-conspirator. Fahim is going to be a co-conspirator. D-Rock will be a co-conspirator. And what the defense was saying today is that there is no co-conspirators. KK's not a co-conspirator. KK was a helper. She helped.
So
Okay.
let me tell you this right here. Hypothetically speaking, if he do get found guilty, he'll get probation because or home confinement. And the reason why I say that is because how all my co-defendants, because all everybody who testified on me is my future co-defendants, right? So you telling me my co-defendants that was committing these crimes with me testified on me was it got immunity, and I got to do 20 or 30 years? You got me messed up.
Yeah, that's a lot of time,
You
man.
got me messed up. I got to get the same thing they got. Ain't no way all my co-defendants getting immunity for testifying against me, and I got to do the time.
Right, Harlem. Several lawyers have said they finally reached this RICO. That they finally did reach it. It is been proven. So that's what the
So
professionals.
so, but they promising them immunity for their testimony. So how they getting scotch free off for admitting they're going to get drugs, going to admit to do this, going to admit to do this, setting up this, going to admit to doing that, paying off this or whatever for it, and they getting immunity, they get the slap on the wrist, they get the walk, and I got to do the time. They just as guilty as me.
They are, but they said they plead the fifth, and they was like, well, you don't have to plead the fifth. If you want immunity, then you're going to have to get on that stand, and you're going to have to testify to the truth. That's how that works. Which means they don't get to get charged for it. But what they gonna say, what they depend on what they say, Puffy has to pay for it.
I don't. Just like I said, if he get five years, I think he'll get a little probation or maybe 5 years or something like that. And Trump will give him a pardon before he get impeached or before his term up to 2028.
So right, STL views, that's right. But what we're being told, what I'm hearing is that because they didn't call them as a co-conspirator, they'll be indicted separately on their own charges. So you're
But
right. During
but
during this, they should have been called as a co-conspirator, right? But they
but
said because they haven't been, they will be indicted on their own charges.
but
Like I'm not. Go ahead.
how can they be indicted on their own charges? Brandon Paul, he can't say, well, yeah, I was going to get personal use drugs from for so and so and so and so. If they don't have no drugs in his possession that they caught on him for evidence to convict him, they cannot convict him because of what he said that he purchased.
No, it's 'cause, especially because he got immunity. I mean,
They
does
got
it
to,
matter?
yeah, they
But
got to catch.
titanium didn't get immunity, so they can be called. They can be indicted if they have the proper charges to indict them on, and if Diddy is found guilty, right?
But so
So if
so
Trump gets off, he needs to take this as a big warning because he will have a target on his back. They will come back around. Oh yeah, they won't let him rest. If he does get off, they won't let him rest. They'll it's because they'll be upset that he don't if that he's not found guilty. So they'll continue. And if you notice, there's already somebody out in LA that just recently filed charges against him. They continue to file these charges, civil charges on him. So he's just not going to be able to rest anyway. But I mean, I'm sure he'd rather deal with that than to go to jail.
yeah, he got enough money. He don't care what people think about him now. I don't. You know what I'm saying? People don't. You don't supposed to care what nobody think of you. You know who you are. If you really that mental strong, but at the same time, if I was him, I'd get my money and bump them, bump them. But yeah, doggone, they got to at least have something in their possession. They basically charging them off a testimony if it do be a RICO.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm going to jail because of what I said on the stand, basically.
Well, that's why they don't put Puff on there because of whatever he said can be held against him. He can go to jail for it because of what he said. Oh, will probably pardon. Oh, good. That's my question. Who was that? Um, Ninja, please. Is it Ninja, please? Do you think, I'm asking you specifically, do you think that Donald Trump, if he was found guilty, that Donald Trump would give him a pardon? Does anybody think that if he is, that he would get it, that Donald Trump will get a pardon? I've always said Donald Trump will be Donald Trump. He's going to do what he want to do. So I don't.
Yeah,
So I don't. I mean, he might. He might give him a pardon.
you gotta realize all the you gotta realize all the black artists. Like you remember who that was? He gave a part into I think little baby or little something like that.
Who, Trump?
Yeah, one of
He's.
them.
It's been a couple. Even
Yeah, it's
Lil
been a
Wayne.
couple. Yeah, even
Yeah.
Lil Wayne. And then he just recently did Larry Hoover.
Yep. Sure did. Possession is 9 of 10. So it didn't matter who drugs Brendan Paul had on him. He was in possession. That's true.
But how can they charge him with possession if they got for them to charge you with possession? You got to have it in possession, in your
He had
possession.
it in possession. When they got him at the plane, he had drugs on him.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he had the bag on him, and in the bag he got on the stand and said it. He it wasn't a large amount, but he did have possession of drugs.
And they charged him, right?
Yeah, and he went and he took a plea or something,
Well,
and
that's out the
he
window. That's out the
yeah
window.
he did a program or something. It's done.
Yeah, that's out the window. So you can't do nothing to him.
Yeah. This man was a billionaire and was purchasing lower amounts of rugs than people I know personally. Yep, it's true. He wasn't, yeah, that's true. Than normal people. Yeah. Only way Trump would pardon is if he or his friends are in the tape. If Donald or his friends are in the tape, I don't I don't know that
No,
he would be
because
any of
you got Jay Z. Quite sure Jay Z was like, man, I ain't gonna let that man go down. It talked to Trump, say, man, give him a pardon, man. Because Jay Z one of his supporters.
Trump's.
Yeah, I think Jay Z love Trump.
Oh, that's news to me. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I thought that was an absolute no.
No, Kanye was friends with Trump for a while. I don't know what happened with their relationship. You remember Kanye used to go to the White House all the time with him. You remember that?
Stop it. Stop it. Stop it, Harlem. Now you just stop that right now. You know he know. He just like, uh-huh. Yep. Call me. That's what we said last night. He would do it just for that reason.
But yeah, doggone, you remember Kanye used to go to the White House to see Trump all the time in his
Uh-huh.
last term?
Mm-hmm.
And Kanye was his best friend, ain't it?
Sure was. But I think they went their separate ways.
Some of him and truckers, I think when Kanye tried to run for president or something like that. You remember that?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How you go run for president doing your mental breakdown where you just shocked the whole world with your mental issues and thought somebody was gonna vote for you allegedly.
Kanye being Kanye. I can't believe he didn't show up. Now maybe he'll show up on Monday.
And then he started with that crazy stuff with them big old boots. And then what was the little mask thing he was wearing with the mask?
Yep.
That
He's
dumb
just
stuff. He was
Kanye.
dumb stuff.
Yep.
And people just buying it, making them rich.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, y'all, I appreciate y'all being here tonight. We will probably be back tomorrow. I'm gonna say not, but I don't know. Just depends. So don't count on it, but we may be live tomorrow. Otherwise, we'll jump right back in and go live every night. We'll be back. Thank y'all for being here. If you haven't hit the like on your way in, please hit it on the way out. If you have not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It's lit over here and it's good vibes only. How was Rico proven? Harlem, you need to come on up here. What will be bad for him if feds hear King's diss track? I wonder what they said. King, was it King Kong that dropped some music with Kanye yesterday, today, or something? I wonder what that's about. But he wants to know how the RICO was proven. I had that written down how they said it. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. I'm gonna just all I can do is present to you what the attorneys say that how it was proven. If I can find it, we went over this the other night. Let me see if I can. I'm gonna show you. So one scenario was let me see, where is it at? The X trafficking with Cassie, and I can't find it, but it was something to the effect where on this RICO that it was under the X trafficking where he was trafficking Cassie to do the things she was doing, and they said that's a standalone charge, but you can also put that under the RICO charge. That's kind of how it was charged twice. But I would have to have
Oh,
I would have to give you the right verbiage so you understand, but I can't find it in my notes. Let me just hold on. Let me look. What did she say? What was you going to say, Montana? Where is it
I was
at?
just I was just yarning. I waiting for Harlem to come up
Okay.
here.
Oh, where's she at?
Is she backstage? Cause you know I waited backstage like 20 minutes to get in, but you didn't have your glasses on.
Don't start. You've been doing good tonight, Montana. You've been doing really good. Okay. Let me see. Let me see. While videos playing, the prosecutors tells the story in a way that is effectively clear to spell. The RICO, the defense will tell you and argue he took bad rugs that day, but security guard came and he knew how to turn it off and on. Oh gosh, where is it at?
Hey, Harlem said she coming. Hey, Harlem, my phone then it went dead waiting backstage last night.
You are lying. Your phone was tripping anyway last night. What proof do you have to that to suggest that Jay-Z is a Trump supporter. I never saw him campaigning for Trump. That would be all over the media. That's why I said I don't know that I didn't think, I thought, now I've seen him um, with Barack Obama, but I don't recall Jay-Z being a Trump fan. I just don't recall. I hope you do come back. We would appreciate it. Yeah, come back and conversate with us and give us your opinions. I was trying to find my notes, but I'm gonna tell you this. On the RICO charge, how they got to the RICO charge. We'll come back live tomorrow, and I will have all my ducks in a row because I will talk to the attorney and ask her to break it down for me so that I can break it down for you guys, and it'll be her words so that we can kind of talk about how we feel about how she broke it down to get to that RICO charge. So tomorrow I'll either post it on my wall or we'll come live and then you guys can comment that way, okay? But we will get an answer for that because we did get the answer. I just don't, I have so many notes, I would have to go through them, but I'll have it for you guys. And then as far as the Jay-Z and Trump thing, I just don't recall that. I'm with you. I haven't seen him be, I haven't seen him go hard for Trump at
I'm
all.
gonna try to. I'll pull it up. I have it tomorrow when you go live or something.
Okay.
Because at
And
the end of the day,
Tim,
he's a billionaire. You know he ain't going against. You know that's who he. If he voted, that's who he voted for. Because you know the Democrats will try to get. They was going after the billionaires. So you
yeah,
know he ain't voted for the Democrat.
right. Well, I don't know. I don't know. That's what I'm gonna say. I don't know. So anyway, oh yeah, he said, and to tell the truth, what we found out about Puff is small to what we all believed or have heard for years. Yeah, like this is that's why I said this is just a small piece of his life. Like there's a ton of other stuff that we've heard that have not been proven, but that we've heard. So you would have, let's see, the logic doesn't stick. Sorry. Are you talking about for the Rico? What are you talking about, corporate?
Talk about with me with Jay-Z about the billionaire thing.
Gotcha. Beyonce is rich and she openly campaigned for, yes, she did. Yep, that's a fact. That's a whole fact. And then what did he say before we get out of here? You would first have to prove this an illegal organization. None of us believe that. None of us believe what? That
You think they were
Puffy
just
was
doing it
running.
having fun? You think it was just a little fun thing they was just doing just to have fun?
Interesting.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Because it seemed
Yep.
like to me they was doing it to have fun. They all enjoyed themselves.
In the beginning, maybe.
Yeah.
In the beginning, they was down. Like even Jane was like, because here's the other thing. Jay Puff told Jane in the beginning, I have other girls. I am a voyeur or whatever. I like to watch. And so she's like, oh, cool, right? So in the beginning, she was down for it. But as it starts getting more and more, and she started falling more in love with Puff, she just wanted to be with him. She didn't want to do the freak offs no more. According to her, she was done. Like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to be stuck in a room. I don't want to be your whore. I want to get out. I want to spend time with you. I want to be that for you. I want to rub your feet, rub you down, massage you, not other men. So in the beginning, maybe, but then it became a no, Montana. That's my thing. When they say no, no is no.
No
You
means
got to
no.
no
Yeah, no
means
means.
no. And
Yeah.
that's it. There's no other way around that.
Corporate got to come up here. I can learn something from you, corporate. We can learn something from each other, man. Come up here, man. Because at the end of the day, we're down here, of course, state laws are different, but federal laws they carry out throughout the country. They are the same, all of them the same in every state with the feds.
Was NBA young boy a Trump supporter? I don't think so. I don't know.
Yeah, I think goddamn, because I think so. Because I don't, well, I don't know about that one, but I think that's the one he gave a pardon to. It was him or someone else.
Yep. Yep. The link isn't there. Oh, yes, it is.
But
Oh,
yeah, corporate, come up here, man.
yeah, we can stay just a little bit longer if anybody want to come up. We haven't been, how long we been on here? Just at an hour. So there's the link if anybody want to come for just a few more minutes. Thank you. This is always, I love a good conversation about things. I
Corporate
love
say
hearing
he
other people's opinions
corporate
because
say he loved his chat.
love it. I love, thank you, corporate. Thank you for being here. I hope you come back. Hope you can hit that link and come on up.
This little lawyer behind need to come up here.
um,
That's something that I always want to be though. I always
You
want to
don't
be
have
in
to be
politics.
bashful. You see, they don't turn their cameras on, but I think a lot of what you're saying, corporate, is really good. I really wish Ninja would come up here and STL. What was it? ST. I missed it. STL News. I wish both of them would come
Oh,
up
I'm
here.
sorry. Oh, I'm sorry, corporate. I didn't know that was a woman. My bad. I'm sorry, corporate.
Once you come up here, you'll be okay. Once you start talking, it's just a conversation. That's all. We don't have no right or wrong answers. We just these are just opinions, our opinions that we feel that what we believe, is what we believe. What you believe is what you believe. That's
Sure.
all. But you have some good points here, is what he's saying. We would love to hear from you,
Yeah, you'll get used to. You see when Harlan come up here, we got to mute her mic sometimes.
especially mine, because I talk.
And why you
Um,
always trying to start stuff?
that
I just,
bad boy is a
I just
crime
being
family.
true.
Don't believe that.
I just like telling the truth. That's all, Harlan.
Good evening. How y'all
Hey
doing?
Harlem, how are
Hey,
you?
how you doing,
I'm
Harlan?
good.
Good. Yeah, well, you came. I didn't know. I mean, that's the link is how Montana got up here, so I don't know where it went.
It's to the top. You got to. It probably just scroll with the top. You can't scroll back all the way up to the top. You got to probably put it
Yeah, when I
down.
scrolled up, it wasn't up there.
Oh, okay. Maybe I should put it in there a couple of times, especially when a lot of conversation in the chat, you get lost in the chat.
You and Montana were doing good, so I just left
It
y'all.
was good, wasn't it? It was good, and I knew that Montana would be the opposite, because he has been this whole time. So I just want to kind of hear what he had to say about the defense. And he stood his ground. Trump pardons are for what do you say? Trump pardons are for sale. Believe it. Oh yeah, there's a price behind it.
I
Seems
could,
like it.
I could
Seems
believe it because it's certain ones you pick. Why you want to do?
like
They always be the ones that got money, millionaires that's worldwide known. It
which
ain't
is
never.
why that which is why Diddy could possibly get a pardon from this man.
It ain't no regular person who's doing 30 or 40 years in the
Nope.
Fed. It's person
Nope.
who got money, rich, and known.
So my opinion is, I don't think Jay-Z was a open supporter of Trump,
Mm-mm. I
but he
don't even.
was the supporter of Trump
I know he was because I saw a lot of.
because
Go ahead.
that's why I feel he didn't go with his wife to the Kamala Harris
Really?
whatever that was that she was at with Kelly.
Yeah. He wasn't there?
No, he wasn't there.
From my understanding, when Trump was in this, when Trump last term, he visited the White House to visit Trump too. From Trump last term,
From his
Yeah.
yeah.
I remember that.
No.
That's why I say he was a supporter. Because you ain't coming in that White House if you Trump's why you if you ain't no supporter of him.
Mm.
Because in all honesty, I think that Trump helped his lawsuit go away because Busby is a supporter of Trump.
Mm.
Trump went to the Super Bowl and
So did.
he's the only sitting president that went to the Super Bowl and he
So,
didn't stay the whole time. He stayed to halftime. So I
so
feel that him and Jay-Z had a conversation
And he would
He
show up to the
came,
Super Bowl.
conversation, left, and then all of that with Busby and his lawsuit was done.
Wow.
When
That's
when did
my opinion.
when did Meek Mills get out of prison? Got a pardon?
He didn't get a pardon.
Yes, he
Yeah, I
did.
don't think he got a pardon.
Yeah, he got a pardon. I think Jay-Z helped him get a pardon. I'm not sure.
Uh-uh. Did he? I don't think he got a pardon.
Google it. I think he
Yeah,
did.
I'm about to Google it because I don't think Meek Mill got a pardon. I don't remember.
I think I mean, he got out, but not on a pardon. Who would have pardoned him? Not. It wasn't Trump.
Oh, it says yes. It
Yes, he
says
did.
yes.
Yes, he
Meek Mill received a pardon from Pennsylvania governor
Wolf in January 2023.
And
Okay,
Jay
my bad,
2023.
Montana.
and Jay-Z did that for him.
Hmm.
With Jay-Z, me too. I just don't know about that. I don't. Harlem is saying that he privately did it, like he wasn't an open supporter. I just don't remember him being a reporter of Jay-Z. I mean, of Trump. I don't know.
Corporate said he need a receipt. Alberta said you still fell asleep at backstage, Montana. Listen, I watched the whole movie of Titanic waiting back there,
He is so
backstage.
lying. He is so lying. Montana, stop. Tell the truth.
That's my
Tell the
truth.
truth.
That's my truth.
It's your story. You're gonna stick to it.
That's my story. I plead the fifth.
Okay. I'll give you immunity if you tell the truth. Gotta tell the truth.
I plead the fifth.
I'll give you immunity.
I don't need no immunity when I'm innocent. I know I'm telling the truth.
Whatever. Jay-Z and he don't know. Let me see. Jay-Z said he don't know the dealer. Who's the dealer? Am I missing it?
I think she meant the diddler.
Oh, the dealer. Okay. Jay-Z. I thought y'all was I'm sorry to tell. We are really logging off, but we kind of be getting sidetracked, and then another conversation comes up. So we're gonna end right here because I really gotta go. We'll be back tomorrow. I'm gonna get that information. We're gonna talk about how they got to the RICO. I may even have her, the lawyer, come on with us back tomorrow if she's not busy, to talk about how she feels. Like I think that would be good to have her come back. See if she'll come back on here with us tomorrow so that she can explain step by step how she believes they came to the RICO already. So we'll come back tomorrow for a little bit, but it'll be in the evening time, way after the event happens. And then we'll just start our flow. The link will be dropped, all that. Other than that, you guys, I'm for real gonna go, and I want to figure out the Jay-Z thing too, if he supported Trump. How we go? So because Harlem, really, before we go, why do you say he privately supported him?
I think he privately supported him because if Jay Z was to come out and support Trump out in the public,
Yeah, he can.
how would that look?
Yeah. But you do believe he did privately?
I think so.
Okay.
Just from things that I saw, how he was moving and doing, I just think so.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
Oh no, yeah, we don't know. We'll find out. Eventually we'll find that out. But anyway, we can end it with that. We'll come back tomorrow. Hit the like. You guys subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and also become a member because we will have our exclusive guest on here when we have these deep conversations. So I appreciate y'all. Have a happy Friday. We'll see y'all on tomorrow. Have a good night.
Good night.
Good night,
Good night.
y'all.